Are you a lifelong fan of General Hospital?
Are you a new fan who wants to know more about the history of the show?
Do you enjoy talking about the show with others?
Do you find yourself yelling at the TV?
Is your self-care an hour a day in Port Charles?
If so, we invite you to join hosts
Amanda Kimmel
and Shannon Coach at the place where all the hidden conversations take place and secrets are revealed.
Meet us at Pier 54,
a General Hospital fan podcast. Hi.
Hi.
Welcome to the Port Charles 411, all about Charlotte Cassadine.
How many different names does she have? Do you want to go through all of her
daddies? Who's your daddy and what does he do? How many times is Arnold going to make his way into our podcast?
Well, who's your daddy seems to be a question that comes up quite often in General Hospital.
It does, yes. So she's been known as Charlotte Boland, Charlotte Beaulieu, Charlotte West, and Genevieve LeBlanc.
Oh, she's had more names than half of the chicks that have been married 10 different times, and she's only, 11?
Yeah. And her nickname is Ma Petite and Valentine, which is super
cute. It is.
I love when he talks French to her. Oh my gosh, why am I not translating French?
Oh, we can do
Why am I not
lessons.
Doing that? French with Valentine, German with Liesel. If you don't know what we're talking about, go back to Monday's episode.
Cultural customs with Jocelyn.
Yep. We can do all of it.
So funny. So I read all the information and I'll read through it just because that's what we always do. Watched a whole bunch of YouTube clips. Tried not to get in the rabbit hole. I was watching with a friend that doesn't watch General Hospital, but their mom watched General Hospital.
Okay.
And so as some of the older characters were coming on, like Anna and who else? Maxie. Robert wasn't in though, because it was the clips from like 2016.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, they were like, it's been on forever. And I was like, yeah, but now we're getting caught in storyline and I can't explain to you how this all goes together.
Right.
I have to focus on Charlotte. So after doing just that part of the research, I wrote down for 2016, new to Port Charles, who is my daddy? Oh, and a new mom too.
Correct.
That was pretty much sums up 2016 for us.
So you used YouTube
and Soaps in Depth.
Okay.
And what's the other one I always use? Wikipedia.
Okay. And I use General Hospital Fandom.com, SoapCentral.com, and those were the two that I used.
And YouTube. Oh, what?
I actually did not YouTube this week.
Oh my gosh, that's a first. Mark it down in history.
There was one time that I did, and I'll explain why.
Okay. That's shocking.
I did not.
That I YouTubed more than you did.
You did.
Huh. So she first appeared in October 2016, although we first saw a glimpse of her in September when Claudette revealed to Nathan that she had given birth to a daughter shortly after their relationship ended. There was still a chance that her other former lover, Griffin Monroe, could be the father of her little girl, and then after a DNA test revealed that Nathan was Charlotte's father, he insisted on seeing his daughter, but Claudette was afraid to reveal the child's whereabouts.
And we talked about all of this last week with Claudette.
Same background of Claudette couldn't figure out who she wanted to be her baby daddy, I guess.
This is your daddy. No, this is your daddy.
That was so ridiculous. And watching it on screen, it really just went back to last week's conversation of I was like, who does this to their child? It's ridiculous. Pushed, Claudette admitted that she was trying to protect Charlotte from another of her exes, Valentine Cassadine, but it was eventually revealed that Valentine was actually Charlotte's true father, and later that Claudette had only carried the child as a surrogate. The egg had come from Lulu Spencer, making Lulu and Valentine Charlotte's biological parents. Charlotte bonded with Nina Reeves and was thrilled when the woman married Valentine and became her stepmother, especially since Valentine had reported that Claudette had died. I'm not going to go into all of your stuff, but watching the videos, that was really all that happened in 2016 was Claudette shows up, here's our kid, to Nathan, and then within 2 weeks, no wait, it's Griffin's kid, and then no wait, it's actually Valentine's kid, and in the middle of all of that, Lulu realizes that Charlotte's actually her daughter and tells her in a linen closet, which I forgot about that until I was watching the YouTube clips. Why?
Because she was like, I miss my mom, and she's like, but I'm your mom. And it's like,
Lulu, what are you doing? And on Soaps in Depth, it has just a picture of it, and it says, Lulu has the worst timing, is how they captured it. Because why? Why would you tell someone, hey, I'm your mom, in a linen closet when the child's already traumatized by all of the things going on.
Right.
But besides that, she didn't really have any storyline to herself. You know what I mean? We were just kind of placing her.
And that's what I found a lot of in mine too. And I tried to scratch out where she was just mentioned and just talked about, because there's a lot of bickering over this little girl.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. So not to repeat what we said last week, but 2016 was really what we said last week, of just kind of establishing where she came from, how she got here, whose kid she actually is. And at the end of 2016, we were left with, she just found out about Lulu and her dad is Valentine. And it said in there, I didn't find the clip where she was introduced to Valentine again, but it said in there that she knew the only reason that she was calling the other men daddy was because Claudette had told her to, and that she knew that Valentine was really her papa.
Okay.
So,
because we had asked about that because we couldn't remember. I think last week we talked about it. If you read
more information, it says that Claudette kidnapped her like from the beginning. So I don't know
how she knew Valentine.
Yeah, that was all, anything that you read was said, pre-2016, but it didn't go in depth of, well, how did that all work out?
Right.
We just start from this jump off point of, here she is. Oh, by the way, her real parents are Valentine.
So we really need more of a backstory of what happened between birth and when we met her. Yep. Because, we know that Claudette, like you just said, kidnapped her. But yeah, when did she have that relationship with Valentine? Because they have a great bond. They have the sweetest father-daughter.
Yeah, it's adorable.
It is.
That is his one strength, that he's not a jerk. So, go ahead. You can go.
That's it?
I could talk just to hear myself talk, but that was the gist of 2016. So, 17, she should start developing a little personality.
Okay, so in January 2017, Valentine and Nina tell Charlotte that they got married, and Charlotte first appeared emotionless on the news and then surprised Nina with how happy that she was. She also watches the two exchange wedding rings. A little while later, Valentine tells Charlotte that Claudette is dead, and she mourns for the only mother she has ever known. In a few short moments, she suggests that maybe Nina can be her new mommy. This girl can transition parents really well. She should be a foster parent.
She was already developing that bond with Nina. Yeah. Because that is one of the clips that I watched was Christmas of 2016. Valentine invited Lulu and Dante and Rocco over. Mm-hmm. And the present that Lulu gave to Charlotte was the same present that Nina had already given. Yeah. And Charlotte kind of handed it to Emma and was like, well, now we can both have one. I don't really need this one. So.
Which, that's a sweet intention, but...
It is. I understand Lulu being upset because it would be devastating that your daughter doesn't seem to really care, but that little girl had been through a lot within the past couple weeks.
Just a little.
Yeah.
She is then seen at Nathan and Maxie's wedding with her papa and stepmother. Because Nina, Nathan, brother, sister. So, in case you don't know that...
Oh, that's a whole nother...
I know.
Jeez!
On January 19th, 2017, after Charlotte runs off, Lulu goes after her to find out that she misses Claudette, so Lulu tells her, against Valentine's wishes, that she's her real mommy. I'm sorry, you can't replace parents. No, that's not how that works, so it's not going to make that little girl feel better that...
And especially telling her like that, it had to confuse her more.
And she didn't have a bond with her, you know? She understood Nina marrying her papa meant that she had a new stepmom, mom, but that was her saying, maybe you can be my new mommy, because that is the relationship. To have to just a stranger tell you.
No, that was one of the first of many selfish moments of Lulu just wanting what Lulu wanted, because she was already building a bond with Rocco just as a friend, and she liked Dante. A couple more months, it would have been okay to say, oh, by the way, but Lulu couldn't wait because Lulu's Lulu.
So Charlotte reacted very badly to it.
Shockingly.
And locked Lulu in the linen closet. Charlotte ran over to Nina and relays what Lulu had said. Nina tells her not to worry about it. Valentine joins them, and Charlotte tells him Griffin says he killed her mom. Griffin told Charlotte that Valentine killed Claudette.
Yeah.
Valentine says that it's a lie and vows that he would never harm anyone she loved. Also, she told him what Lulu told her, and he told her not to think about it, for it's unimportant, and promises to explain the matter to her when she gets older and he figures out a way to explain it properly. He really does do a good job of addressing her concerns and answering what he can and what he should.
He does, but
I mean, this is messed up.
this is so funny. He'll explain it when he can explain it and it'll make sense. It's never going to make sense.
No.
That grandma stole somebody's eggs and then
decided to, but
yeah.
He cares about the way that it comes out. He's just not going to pop it out there in the middle of a linen closet while you're locked in.
Yep.
So he really cares about her emotional health.
Yeah. He's a good dad. You have to give him
He
time.
really is. Charlotte is later seen at the Crimson office when she came to work with Nina. When Nina is called away, Maxie calls Lulu so that she can come hang out with Charlotte. She gets upset at Lulu for touching her drawing and goes off on her. She gets traumatized by this confrontation to the point where she detests Lulu. In March, Valentine and Nina with their lawyer,
Nora Buchanan,
and Lulu and Dante with their lawyer, Diane Miller, started a custody battle, with both wanting sole custody and joint custody not being on the table. The battle ended with Valentine getting sole custody and Lulu supervised visitation of 1 hour a week to ensure a smooth transition for Charlotte to accepting Lulu as her mother, for it was believed through the evaluation of Charlotte done by Dr. Andre Maddox that Charlotte will be severely traumatized if she was taken away from her papa.
Yeah.
And put in an environment that she felt uncomfortable in. It was also mentioned that in 6 months the custody would be revisited. In March, Nell Benson was hired as Charlotte's new nanny. And during her first visit with Lulu, the two have fun making scones, going on an Easter egg hunt, seeing bunnies. And they also agreed to have a tea party during their next visit. And I feel like that was the first time that
you could see that
they got along.
Yeah.
Yep. It's clearly seen that Charlotte is starting to soften towards Lulu. Later on at the Metro Court with her papa, Charlotte expresses that she misses Claudette and how confused she is about how Lulu is her mother. Valentine explains that she was created in a very special way and that he and Nina will explain it to her when they get home. That is sweet.
It is.
Charlotte also tells her papa that she had fun with Lulu but feels guilty because it's not fair to her mommy. Claudette, her papa, or Nina. Valentine tells Charlotte that although he and Lulu don't get along well, he wants Charlotte to form her own opinion of Lulu. Co-parenting,
yes.
A+.
Yes.
In May, Charlotte is seen in the park with Nell, Michael, and Avery. A few days later, Charlotte is left at school by Nell, and they couldn't get a hold of her papa, so they called her mother, and Charlotte ends up spending the night at the Falconeries. She also sees Griffin at the Metro Court. Charlotte is later seen with her mother, brother, and stepfather playing memory, and then Dante reads everyone a story, which she and Rocco fall asleep during.
Aww, yay.
The next morning, the Falconeri family has pancakes, and Valentine shows up and apologizes to Charlotte. Later on, Dante takes her and Rocco to school. Man, sleepovers at a school night, super special.
Yes.
During the 2017 Nurses Ball, Emma had asked Charlotte to help be an assistant to Jake with his magic act. This is when he got that Chimera virus or whatever thing, so things did not work out the way that they had planned. In June 2017, Dante and Lulu were granted temporary custody of Charlotte since her father was going to prison.
That's a good reason.
A few days later, Lulu picked up Charlotte from Lila's kids' camp
Yay.
and brought her home where Nina and Anna were waiting with surprises. Nina surprises her with a dress that she, Charlotte, had designed and tells her that she is happy that Charlotte is with her family, but that she won't be seeing her very much. This is when Nina and Valentine were getting divorced.
Yes.
The first time. Also, Charlotte is seen with her mother's family. She gets closer to her half-brother Rocco and Dante. She reveals to her mother that despite the fact she loves being with her mother and her family, she misses her papa and Nina. She has been alienated by her cousin Spencer for what her father did to his father, as well as taking his entire inheritance. I would be a little upset about that too.
Yes.
Despite not being his in the first place. Later on, the family does put together a puzzle and then they hug.
Oh,
such weird sentences put together. On June 28th, Charlotte meets Dante's mom, Olivia, for the first time and was told to call her Nona. Later on, Olivia asked her to be the flower girl at Ned's wedding, and Charlotte happily accepted. On July 7th, Charlotte is seen walking down the aisle as the flower girl with Rocco and Leo, who are co-ring bearers.
So cute.
And I love that they did that because they didn't have to have Rocco.
Right.
Because Leo's her kid.
Yeah.
But
that was
I like
cute.
the co. And she even danced with her stepfather, Dante, as well as watched the fireworks with her grandmother, Laura. On July 11th, Charlotte was reunited with her father, Valentine, after he was released from prison. He came to her after the wedding was over and hugged her deeply. Lulu took Charlotte to get some lemonade, while Valentine made it clear to Dante and Anna that he plans to have Charlotte come home with him soon. He told Charlotte that he will see her soon and he will prepare Windermere for her return. Lulu revealed that Charlotte entered Lila's camping class. On July 17th, Charlotte encounters her father at Lila's camping class, aka Lila's kids.
Yeah.
Why are we calling it camping class? Soon after, Spencer tells her that her father killed his, and she doesn't believe it, and she runs to her father. Spencer tries to make Valentine confess, but he tells Charlotte to go and play. Charlotte continues to not believe it and believes Spencer was trying to upset her. The next day, it was revealed that Valentine had temporary visitation. In September, Valentine and Lulu take Charlotte to visit her friend Bailey Caldwell, who is suffering from scoliosis, just like her father did long ago at Shriners Hospital for Children.
That was nice. I remember that. I love how they pull Shriners into a storyline.
Yep.
And that was good to introduce us to start to tell us all of the issues Valentine had had.
Well, and it was like the first time that Lulu and Valentine actually got along for the benefit of Charlotte.
Yes.
So,
yeah, it pulled that storyline good, because not to go off topic too much, but that was when Anna was trying to figure out how he knew who she was, and Anna wasn't recognizing him because he
didn't look the same.
Yep. So, good job putting everything together.
In October, it was revealed that Valentine and Lulu now have shared custody for Charlotte's sake. In December, she was preparing for Christmas. Charlotte found a ballot related to the 2014 mayoral election, and when she showed it to her mother, this led to events that caused the end of Janice Lomax's position as mayor of Port Charles. So that was it for 2017.
Do you have an idea for a podcast but don't know where to start? Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Anchor is such an easy way to record and edit a podcast, and you can do it from either your phone or computer. Best part is you don't have to worry about getting it out there. Anchor distributes to many platforms, so you can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, and many more. You can start making money right away without having a minimum number of listeners, too. Anchor really is everything that you need to make a podcast all in one place.
Don't you hate when you're listening to a great podcast and suddenly you're interrupted by an ad?
I know! Thank goodness Stitcher lets us listen to our favorite podcasts like Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend, My Favorite Murder, and many more ad-free for only $4.99 a month or $34.99 a year.
Go to Stitcher.com/premium to sign up today.
Use promo code PEER54 for 1 month free on us.
In May 2018, her papa Valentine and her stepmother Nina become separated. And in June, her stepfather Dante left town to join the WSB in their hunt of the man that tried to kill her mother 2 years ago. Again, the beginning of 2018, Charlotte was just here and there, like you saw them switching visitation or whatever. She wasn't involved in any kind of storyline. So it showed her with Dante, it showed her building up that relationship with Rocco.
Mentioned.
Yeah, but there was no real storyline. She started to get actual content in the end of 2018. And it says, in November, Charlotte had been bullying her cousin Aiden. Her attitude and abusive behavior continued to grow. Her teacher, Willow Tate, contacted her parents and informed them of the situation. On December 5th, Lulu realized that Nina had been spoiling her daughter. I don't feel like that was a realization. You kind of knew that Nina had been spoiling her for the entire time.
From day one.
Yes, but spoiling her to the point that she believed she was above everyone else and that no one else mattered. Lulu declares that she can't trust Nina with her daughter, as her behavior will cause her to get expelled from her school. And that was, I feel, really just Lulu overreacting because she wanted to blame Nina for everything, just because that was their relationship. But I watched the clips of Laura had figured out from the stuff that Elizabeth was saying about Aiden being bullied, and then talking to Lulu and hearing about Charlotte being in trouble for bullying someone. She had put it together that it was Charlotte bullying Aiden, so they actually took Charlotte over to Aiden's house to apologize, and she said that she wouldn't bully him anymore, but she couldn't promise the other kids weren't going to bully him.
Right.
It really showed her mean streak. Lulu blamed it all on Nina, but I feel like that was just her acting out because she has been through a lot. Just a bit. So, and that's what started the feud between Nina and Willow, because Willow also agreed that Nina didn't really discipline her. So there's a need for discipline, but the kid had a right to have some issues. You've given her how many dads and a couple moms in the span of 2 years. So
3 moms and 3 dads.
Yeah, that's a lot to happen in 2 years.
It is.
So, but anyway, her and Aiden have made up at that time, and it seems like their relationship has improved.
I didn't realize how little paragraphs yours were.
Yeah, I didn't realize that either, and everything.
I gave you the option of picking which years you did.
And I said I didn't care, so you assigned me. So thanks for giving me the shorter amount, even if you didn't mean to.
I actually, because they didn't have anything for 2019 on General Hospital Fandom, so I was like, okay, I'll do the research. So
yeah,
that's why I was.
Which is why I assumed that you spent a ton of time on YouTube, because 2019 wasn't covered as much. But 2018 on YouTube is really just what those paragraphs are. There wasn't really much, except for all the custody stuff, which I feel like that's not Charlotte's storyline. That's the grown-up storyline.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't do anything until she started bullying Aiden towards the end of 18.
Right.
So
Central had a lot of stuff for 2019 though, because they do weekly and daily recaps.
Yeah.
So I was able to pull a lot of information from there. So like you mentioned, at the end of 2018, started off with the bullying stuff. On January 17th, 2019, Willow alerted Lulu, Valentine, and Nina that Charlotte had been caught cheating on a test. Nina refused to believe it, but Willow explained that Kenda had consistently gotten A's while Charlotte had not. Additionally, both girls had gotten the same questions wrong on the test, and Willow was certain that there hadn't been any malicious intent on Charlotte's part, and she offered to tutor Charlotte, but Nina insisted that the other girl had cheated off of Charlotte. Valentine rarely stepped in between Nina and Lulu, except to occasionally back up Nina. When Nina wanted to brush the incident under the carpet, while Lulu opted to hold her daughter accountable, Valentine sided with Lulu.
About time.
Yep. So then nothing really happens again until April, when Valentine and Nina had a talk with Principal Schultz about Willow's treatment of Charlotte. Valentine warned the principal that he would not tolerate Willow bullying his daughter any further, and they had asked for advanced placement for Charlotte, and Willow finally agreed that she would do the recommendation, but said the school wouldn't do it until the following school year. And I don't think that ever happened, because that would be this school year.
And she's in the same
she's
class.
Still in this, yeah. And also in April, Franco had gone to Nina to talk about the stepkids, and Franco explained to Nina how Aiden's bullying had gotten worse, and she all but brushed it off until Franco informed her that Aiden was being called derogatory names.
Yeah.
Nina was stunned and offered to do anything that she could do to help, and Franco suggested that she convince Charlotte to be friends with Aiden, since Charlotte had been described as a, quote, trendsetter. Nina was skeptical, but she promised to try, and Franco left. Nina left a voicemail for Charlotte, so she called her, left voicemail. She knew that Charlotte was very busy, but she asked Charlotte to clear her schedule. I remember watching that, and I'm like, she's 10.
How?
Clear her schedule.
Okay.
Nina explained that she wanted to set up a play date for Charlotte with a friend, and they got together, and eventually Elizabeth finds out that, it was Franco that had coordinated the whole thing.
Yeah.
In May, she was just mentioned here or there. In June, they had an award ceremony for the end of the school year. And this is the only thing that I watched on YouTube, because the text did not say which award she won.
Oh, okay.
She won the Kindness Award. And Nina quietly told Valentine that she hoped Charlotte's award hadn't been a swipe at them, but Valentine preferred to think that Charlotte had earned it. Nearby, Charlotte handed Lulu the award in exchange for a bouquet of flowers and a small present. Charlotte dashed over to Aiden and to let him know it was time. Aiden took the bouquet, and together Aiden and Charlotte approached Willow to present her with flowers and a book of pictures they had put together to remind Willow of the school year. Nina decided to ask why Willow had given Charlotte the award for kindness rather than acknowledging that Charlotte had had perfect grades in the final quarter. Cheater. Willow revealed that Charlotte had worked hard to show kindness and consideration towards her classmates, which Willow thought had been important to recognize, because not all things need to be recognized by academics.
Yep,
I mean,
exactly.
We need to raise good people, not just
smart ones. Yep.
Willow had no doubt that Charlotte would thrive in the accelerated program, but wanted to warn Nina and Valentine that they might find that Charlotte missed her friends that she had made. Valentine appreciated Willow's candor, but he assured her that Nina and he expected great things from Charlotte. But again, we don't think that she actually...
Being in a regular class with her peers that she likes is not a downgrade from being in a class.
But we actually just went through this with my son at the beginning of the school year, because he was in one math class. And by the end of the first month, the math teacher approached us and said, hey, I've already checked with his schedule and already seen if he can do this swap. I think that he should be in this math class instead of this math class. because he's bored.
Oh, yeah.
And it was a switch with an art class.
Okay.
We did it. And at first my son was a little resistant, and he's 17.
Yeah.
But it's kind of the same thing. He was, yeah, but I like that class. I said, yeah, here's the thing though. Tough.
Right.
Because you should be in this.
Challenge yourself 100%.
Right. If you're getting bored, because the thing is, he was finishing his work so quickly that all he was doing was drawing in this class. I mean, he was being done in 10 minutes and spent like the next half hour.
Well, yeah, that's why I liked it.
Exactly. Because the kid will draw all day if I let him. But yeah, so, but especially at that age, I mean, I was a baby in my class. I didn't turn 18 until I went into college.
That's crazy.
It was hard.
That's crazy.
Because everyone else was doing all these things.
Yeah.
So I think it was smart.
You just have to balance it out. I mean, obviously it's personal choice, but Charlotte doesn't seem to have been as socialized with kids as she was with adults.
Correct.
So if she was my daughter, I would tend to not look at the academics as much as the social skills and want her in the class with the correct peers.
Because she is very mature for her age. You know,
which is good, but
right.
I think she also needs
needs
more social interaction with kids. Yeah.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yep. In July, Charlotte gave Aiden mixing bowls for a birthday gift, and at his party, she broke the piñata. In August, not really a lot of stuff happened. She spent more time with Lulu because Sasha was in the hospital and Nina and Valentine were there all the time. And she told Valentine about her softball game. In September, she hoped that Rocco would like the gift that he brought to her party. And other than that, she was just really talked about. In October, Nina and Valentine attempted to wed again. And this was the one that Lulu interrupted.
Yes.
Which upset Charlotte, and she went to the playroom. And then later on, they went to Kelly's. And Lulu, Charlotte, and Laura sat at a table. Although Charlotte was not hungry, she picked at her food. Lulu tried to reassure her that everything would be okay, but the little girl wanted to know why Lulu had ruined the wedding.
Valid question.
Lulu maintained that both Nina and Valentine loved Charlotte and that wouldn't change. And Laura told Charlotte it was a complicated adult issue. I mean, she just goes on to she was really upset about the fact that Nina and Valentine might not be getting married, and she wanted to see Nina and, you know, really, she wanted to reach out to Nina.
Right.
And so she winds up going to Crimson and overhears that Sasha wasn't Nina's daughter right outside the office. And Charlotte was upset and couldn't believe what she had heard. Charlotte wanted to know why Nina and Valentine had not gone through with the wedding, and Sasha explained that Nina had been too upset to get married after the lie she heard. And I think that Sasha handled that really well. Yes. And was like, listen, they love each other. They're still going to get married. It's my fault.
Yep.
Sasha admitted that she had told a lie and hurt a lot of people. Charlotte was extremely upset and accused her of lying because Nina was rich. And Sasha insisted that it wasn't true and she had tried to help Nina and that she liked both Charlotte and Nina and hadn't thought she would hurt anyone. She was very sorry. Charlotte turned her back on Sasha as Sasha stated that the little girl was very important to her. And Charlotte declared that she had no reason to believe anything that Sasha had to say and she ruined everything. And she cried to Lulu asking her to take her out. In November is when Cassandra Pierce kidnapped Charlotte from Kelly's diner while she was at the counter doing her homework while Lulu and Maxie gossiped about Dustin.
Dumb stuff.
And Cassandra had actually taken her phone and like disabled that tracking device and everything.
Yeah.
Valentine was frantic because Cassandra sent him a picture of Charlotte. Uh-huh. She wanted to take advantage of the fear that something might happen to his daughter. At the police station, Laura suggested to Jordan that maybe Charlotte had attempted to go home by herself because the little girl was so independent. Okay, but
she wouldn't leave her coat in her book bag. Well, she might have had
She didn't leave her stuff. She took it with her, but...
Did she take everything?
I think.
Yeah, maybe you're right. I don't know.
But I don't think that she would have walked home to Windermere.
No.
No. She would have said bye to her mom because, right, she's independent, but she's also not dumb.
Right.
And basically there's the whole search going on for Charlotte and everything. And eventually we see Charlotte at the pier with Cassandra and someone shows up and says, unhand that child. And it was the return of Anna, which we're not going to get into. But the way that Charlotte was able to escape Cassandra is she bit her on the hand and like fled and went into hiding.
At the end of the articles, they always say like bad things that the character's done or like arrests or whatever. In one of the articles, it listed a bad thing as she bit Cassandra's hand. And I was like, no, bad thing. She's getting away from her kidnapper. 100%. Good job, Charlotte.
Yep. So she ran away, and Cassandra had yelled for one of her men to go after Charlotte, and she told the other to break Anna's neck. And Cassandra grabbed her hand in pain because remember, she's also like that super germaphobe and all that. So I mean,
good job.
All those things. Valentine told Nina, well, it's done because he had met Cassandra's demands. And Nina was so afraid that the fugitive would double-cross Valentine. He stated that Cassandra would possibly use Charlotte as leverage or let her go. And he vowed to hunt her down if needed. When Charlotte was hiding, she saw Jason came and beat up the thugs and everything.
Yeah.
And he saw Charlotte and asked her if she was okay. Jason headed to Anna and Cassandra, and Anna managed to kick her guard and get free. She fought with Cassandra as Jason took on the thug. Take that, loser, Charlotte said as she returned to find Anna and Jason the clear winners. Jason reminded the little girl that he had told her to stay where she had been. Charlotte thanked him and Anna for saving her, but they realized that Cassandra was gone. Anna wrapped her arms around the little girl and looked out into the water, and that's when
Cassandra went boom.
Yep. And it was actually, I forgot about this. It was Charlotte's phone that Cassandra had in her possession that he called. And Valentine informed Cassandra that he didn't care about stuff. And Cassandra looked down and saw a blinking light, and she was frantic as Valentine set off the explosion. I want to know. That's just a whole other thing. I mean, he had his people go put.
Yeah.
That's a lot of guessing.
It is. He anticipated well there.
Yep. And then later on, Nicholas snuck into Windermere and Charlotte caught him, and that's when he winds up telling her he's her bodyguard. Not the same night.
Right.
I mean, it was.
Yes.
And the following week, she saw the picture on Lulu's phone, and Nina and Charlotte began reading Little Women together, and perfectly timed because the movie came out. So why didn't they go see the movie together?
I don't know.
Well, they're not done with the book yet. That's right.
Yeah, maybe they'll do that soon.
Finish the book before you go see the movie. In December, Charlotte and Valentine were walking on the pier, and Valentine got a phone call about Helena's painting. Nicholas had been standing by. This is when she walks over and is like, I know who you are. And that she had seen a picture on Laura's phone. You know, she had fallen off Lulu's phone. Charlotte had fallen off the monkey bars and was like, where were you? Everyone had laughed because she asked for her bodyguard, all that. You know, she winds up telling Laura, I have a bodyguard, and everything that
saved me. That was so.
Yep.
You know how a kid's mind works, but at the same time, you're like, really? I don't know that a real bodyguard would help you from falling off the monkey bars.
He wasn't going to come catch you.
Yeah.
You know, midair. She had talked to Laura about that. Laura warned her to be careful, and Charlotte disclosed that she had the secret bodyguard to protect her. And then Valentine summoned Charlotte back to the table. Curtis returned to Laura. She told him that she thought Charlotte might be suffering from PTSD as she had been talking about an imaginary bodyguard. I think this girl might.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Just a little.
And then December 16th is when Charlotte told Lulu that she knows boyfriends and girlfriends have a sleepover.
That was the best.
And she had the Sundays at the bar with Rocco.
Uh-huh.
And then they all went down to the pier. Lulu and Dustin were making out, and she's telling Rocco, I can jump in the water and I'll be fine. And she does. Because Rocco had teased her that the imaginary secret bodyguard basically wasn't there. And she vowed to prove that he was real. Dustin jumps in, gets her. They all go to the hospital. And really, Dustin and Nina kind of controlled Lulu and Valentine from the blame game.
Yep.
They were both at fault. I mean, she would not have needed to think that she had a bodyguard if it wasn't for Valentine's demons. Or
right. What?
Enemies. Enemies is the word I was looking for. But so then Laura wound up sitting with Charlotte, and she insisted that she thought the bodyguard would save her. Laura again tried to get her to admit that the bodyguard was pretend, but Charlotte declared that he wasn't, and she had seen a photo of him on Lulu's phone. Lulu's purse was sitting nearby, and Laura retrieved the phone and went through the photos, found the picture of Nicholas, and showed it to Laura. And then on the wedding day, aka New Year's Eve, Charlotte brought Nina her flowers at Windermere. Nina was thrilled with them. Charlotte wanted to go riding on her horse, but both Nina and Valentine wanted her to rest for the big night. Charlotte wanted help in looking for her stuffed horse Electra, and Nina realized that she had seen it in the stable. Charlotte rushed off to get it, and Valentine declared that they would be an official family shortly. And then Charlotte wound up telling Laura about the ring that Nicholas had, which could not have been seen in the picture, which that basically brings us up to date for 2020. And, you know, they didn't get married. Nope. Stuff happened. This poor little girl.
I am happy that Nina is continuing to see her, stopped by the next day to check on her, and that Lulu told Maxie to tell Nina, you're welcome anytime.
Right.
Lulu's finally looking out for Charlotte's best interest.
Yes. So yeah, that's basically a little background about Charlotte Cassadine.
She's so cute.
She is. Is she still going to be Cassadine though? What
if they made Luke his dad?
Ew!
and Laura, or him and Lulu are brother and sister.
Oh my gosh.
So her name would be Spencer on both sides.
Oh my. Did not think about that.
Yeah. Ew. But I think that's why we know that Luke isn't the dad, because Helena was crazy, but I don't think she would be that crazy.
No.
I really don't.
No.
So.
I don't think Luke would be that crazy.
I mean, hopefully Luke wouldn't hook up with Helena, but if he did, he wouldn't, I'm assuming, have thought forward that maybe she saved some of his sample for a later date. So he wouldn't really have.
Wow. Oh, okay. So let's just see where this goes.
We'll see. Yeah, I'm thinking Helena would know that Luke was Valentine's dad and would not turn around and use Valentine's.
No.
And Lulu's dad.
No.
Not even.
I'm just gonna say it again.
Yeah, not even that she's not that twisted, just the genetic ramifications. She wouldn't want that in the Cassadine area. So, yeah, I'm gonna say everyone's wrong. Luke's not the dad, cause ew.
Please, dear God. No.
Ew.
Let's just bring somebody new in, okay?
Yeah, exactly. It was the groundskeeper.
Yep.
There we go.
I don't want to keep going down this rabbit hole, so that's it on Charlotte.
Okay.
So we hope that you've learned a little bit more or refreshed your memory a little bit about, because we've only had her for a couple of years, and I mean, with all the kids, they go on and off the show.
Right.
Because
No, I think it's good that we recapped her. It was just, thanks for giving me the shorter part, even if you didn't mean to, because I'm like, yeah, 2016, who's my daddy, who's my mommy?
Purposely gonna give you the longer part next time.
2018 is don't bully people. I could have summed mine up in a sentence.
Sorry.
No, I like that. Thanks.
You're welcome.
So,
anything I can do to help.
Thanks.
So join us on Monday when we talk about this week's episodes of General Hospital for the weekly recap.
So have a good weekend. Have a good weekend.
And we'll meet at the pier.
Bye.
Bye.
If you enjoyed today's show, we invite you to go to peer54podcast.com to subscribe on your favorite platform. Don't forget to leave us a review.
And you can also follow us on many social media channels. Just search for Peer 54 Podcast. Also, we are not perfect, so if there is something that we missed or messed up, just let us know by emailing us at peer54podcast@gmail.com.